Hello everyone, welcome to another video from Shomu's Biology. In this video, we are going to talk about the part-time PhD. If you wish to do part-time PhD in India, there are many questions earlier. Students have asked this question multiple times. Can we do part-time PhD in India? And I answered them no. Earlier, long back, UGC had these rules and regulations that the students can do part-time PhD, and plenty of people have done that. But in the middle, sometime UGC discontinued that particular terms, and now in 2022. Particularly in 2022, early March, they released a letter, they released a declaration where they stated that they are going to bring back the essence of doing part-time PhD in India in association with IIT and IISc. So, if you wish to do part-time PhD from IITs in India and IISc, and also I believe that if they start this process, they are going to give this right from the IITs and IISc, from that to other universities and colleges as well. So that is a good news, right? So we are going to discuss about some nuts and bolts about doing part-time PhD in India. So what you want to consider, some important crucial points that I want to mention. First things first, this is not valid yet. I'm making this video on January 2023. It's not valid yet because it was told that the UGC set norms will be revised and will be finalized later. They have not provided us with any timeline, so we cannot make sure when they are going to release the final instructions, but they are considering the fact of opening part-time PhD, and basically they have released this in some of the IITs, so we can make sure that the doing part-time PhDs from IITs is a common deal which has been done for a long time and now can be done. I'll be sharing the details of doing part-time PhD from an IIT website so that you get to know about the truth of this whole scenario. Now the first thing is the information is not properly out, so you cannot do just part-time PhD from any university or colleges in India as of now, 2023 January. Second thing is to do part-time PhD. Who wants part-time PhD? Who wanted to do part-time PhD? Those who are involved with some sort of other engagement, right? They have other engagement to some recruiters who are doing some sort of job or some other work which provides them with the daily wage, right, or provides them with the monthly earning for that person. So those person will choose to do part-time PhD. Now if those persons, so this is the second important point, is that in order to be qualified as a part-time PhD holder, you need to have a full-time job where you're working someplace else, and your employer must know this. Second thing, your employer must allow you to pursue the part-time PhD. As per this guideline, the employer should have an NOC, no objection certificate, for you to do part-time PhD in colleges or universities from India. That's the second important point. The third important point is that to do PhD, obviously you need to go through the coursework, and it's very important that you continue with the coursework. In India, to do PhD right now, coursework is something which is mandatory for all. And to do coursework, you may need to visit the universities or the college from where you are doing part-time PhD at the very starting of your PhD journey, that is 6 months to 1 year period of time. So for that time frame, your employer must release you whenever you are in requirement or demand to visit the college or university to conduct the part-time PhD coursework. That need to be properly written and cleared by your employer in order for you to do PhD in part-time mode from universities in India like IIT. Okay, so these are the three main important points that you need to consider in order to be eligible and think of doing part-time PhD in India. And I believe this is a good decision, because there is no point and harm of thinking that the part-time PhD candidates are not worth it or something like that. No, the thing is, a part-time candidate, a part-time PhD candidate may not be everyone, but for some people who want to do their PhD, either they have a passion to do research, second thing, they want to increase their salary in that particular field after doing PhD is only possible. They have an experience of at least 2 years, and you need to have experience of at least 2-3 years in order to be eligible to do that. So they have experience of 2 years, 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, but they are stuck in a R&D or any other position of the sector job, particularly in life science sector we are talking about, but the salary are constrained. After doing PhD, the salary will hike. So for those people, this part-time PhD will come very, very handy. and that's why I believe it's really important. See, not everyone in India who are doing PhD are into research. Basically, if you study, most of them are not into research after doing PhD and postdoc. They're ultimately into the academics, they're ultimately into the teaching. So whether we are getting research oriented passion students after PhD, the answer is no. There's no substantial proof for that. So considering this fact, you cannot just state that part-time candidates are not worth it. No, definitely worth it, because that's going to add some value to the CV of the people who want to do part-time PhD. That's a good thing, that's a good sign. So I myself obviously has a thumbs up for this particular plan of doing part-time PhD in India. Okay, now let's move on and see what this part-time PhD program has, some terms and what terms they have. So we are going to see that. I'm going to show you the part-time PhD terms written in the IIT. Here you can see that this is the Indian Institute of Technology, Ropar, and here we can see the part-time PhD program written. As a research scholar under the part-time PhD program will carry out major part of his or her research work at IIT Ropar under the supervision of IIT Ropar. So that's something, because UGC has given the right to the IIT and ISC to conduct their own part-time PhD programs as per their own rules and regulations. So minimum qualification, you see the minimum qualification, everything is written. MSc, MSc equivalent degree, last you need to have a proper qualifying marks for that as per the normal PhD program rule. PhD in different processes like civil, chemical, computer, electrical, mechanical, biomedical, materials, all these things are listed. And one thing is that the GATE or equivalent qualification can be bypassed here. Minimum qualification of this candidate is the same as of the full candidates, except that the requirement of qualifying national examination, that is GATE or equivalent, is waived off for a part-time PhD candidate, because obviously a part-time candidate means they are involved somewhere to do a full-time job. So they have an employer where they're working, so they will not get time to again read and prepare for GATE and qualify GATE or qualify NATE, then come to the PhD. It's not that possible. So the GATE is waived off. Obviously there will be a walk-in interview for that. So candidates should have a minimum experience of 2 years full-time after BTech, MTech, MSc, MA equivalent on the date of registration. That's another important thing, that the candidate must have at least 2 years of experience, work experience they're doing under any employer. Sponsorship, part-time candidates are required to submit a no objection certificate in a proper letterhead for appropriate authority in the organization, clearly stating the following: the candidate is permitted to pursue the studies in the part-time thesis, that his/her official duties permit him/her devote sufficient time to the research, that they will get sufficient time to do the research, particularly sufficient time, and if required they can move and join the coursework in the campus, because obviously you need to go to the campus during your coursework. You need to visit, you have to have a multiple visit to the campus during coursework. It's very important. Facilitates facilities of research in the candidate's field of research in the area which admission is sought are available in the candidate's place of work. He or she will be fully relieved from duty, permitted to reside at the institute for the period required residency, if required. That's if required, obviously. NOC in case of change of organization. If the candidates after joining PhD program changes organization, he should get NOC from the new organization as well. Okay, so these are all the things. For part-time candidates from outside, there is minimum residency requirement of 4 months, and lower residency requirement needed for the minimum residency period can be completed in parts in the entire tenure of PhD, but actually the total duration is of 4 months. The research work by student working in the part-time PhD program shall be completed in 4 years. That's the target frame. By 4 years, your supervisor and you will be finishing your PhD program. The complete program goes from 5 years to 9-10 years even, but this part-time one is still 4 years. But you need to visit your place of PhD at least 4 months during the coursework time frame, and that may be in a stretch of 4 months or in a gap of different time frame, fragmented time frame, ultimately leads to the 4 months duration. So this is something that is really important, and I believe you have a clear idea now, clear understanding now. What you can simply do, you can check this link iitpr.ac.in/part-time PhD. You'll get these details, and this detail is there for different other universities, different other IITs as well. You can check there, try to get a part-time PhD admission there. And this information is not will not be restricted to IITs. I believe they are going to release a guideline to continue this to other universities, UGC recognized universities and institutes in years to come. Okay, so let's hope for the best, and I believe this is something which is very good of a decision from UGC. So let's hope for the best. I believe you have a clear idea about doing part-time PhD in India. If you like this video, please hit the like button, share this video with your friends and colleagues, and subscribe to this channel to get more videos like that in future. Thank you. Bye.